Good afternoon, everyone. As we wait for the Nobel Peace Prize to be announced, we have to look at the history. The history tells us that there were two important icons, seemingly very natural, to be awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, but they were deprived of it. Nehruji was nominated 13 times for the Nobel Peace Prize. Gandhiji 5 times, but neither of them got even one. We are going to look at the trajectory of it, specifically from the perspective of essay writing. Moving on, if you are worried about notes, do not be so, because I provided through my Telegram channel by the name of Pooja Dwivedi UPSC. If you have any queries regarding this examination, you can talk to me on my Instagram and follow me on Threads. The Nobel Peace Prize is one of the most prestigious peace prizes in the world. If I talk about the Nobel has been established since 1901 according to the will of the Alfred Nobel, who said that there will be 5 prizes, in which peace was also there. In 1968, the prize in economic sciences was also added by a donation by the Swedish Riksbank, but originally there were 5 prizes. And every year, Nobel is announced and awarded on 10th of December. So from 1901 to 2022, the prizes have been awarded 103 times to 140 people. There have been certain years where Nobel Peace Prize was not announced, and the money that was sidelined for this particular Peace Prize had to go back to the fund. Now, if I talk about how is the winner decided, the winner is ultimately chosen by 5-person Norwegian Nobel Committee, which is nominated by the Norwegian Parliament. They make certain assessment and thereafter they give the awards. But I am talking about the two historical icons who were never given the Nobel Peace Prize, even though their contributions were humongous. Let's look into it. Now, if we talk about the Jawaharlal Nehru scenario, the entire scenario with respect to Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru ji, he was nominated 13 times. For the first time ever, he was nominated in 1950 by L.R. Sivasubramaniam. Why he was nominated? Because L.R. Sivasubramaniam thought he established the parliamentary government in India. He had been one of the principal leaders of the independence movement. Also, he was nominated for his very neutralist foreign policy. He wasn't biased against one bloc or the other. He made very sure that India is a newly independent country. We must look inward first. We have to hone our skills for betterment and domestic policies rather than joining any other bloc and hence becoming just a product of the imperial government. Now, he also was nominated for upholding the same principles as Gandhi. Nehru got 3 nominations again in 1951 by Nobel Peace Laureate of 1946 by the name of Boston Emily Greenbalg, but he lost to Jean Jaurès, who was a trade union leader from France, and he won the Peace Prize in 1951 for his mediation in the Palestine issue. Then Nehru got the nominations again in 1953, but the 1953 Peace Prize went to George C. Marshall, who led the US Army during the World War II. He was then jointly nominated, in 1954 along with British Prime Minister Clement R. Attlee. Why? Because they worked for the peaceful settlement between Great Britain and India in 1947. But they again lost to United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees. When I talk about Gandhiji, it is much more clear. Why did he not get the Nobel Peace Prize? Some people were not in favor of Gandhian policies, the committee which used to just decide it. But there are other factors as well. He was nominated 5 times, 1937, 1938, 1939, 1947, and shortly before his assassination in 1948 as well. There are many people who are saying that in 1948 he could have got the Nobel Peace Prize. But the terms that the Nobel Peace Prize has to go to somebody posthumously, it was there. The Nobel Peace Prize right now cannot be awarded posthumously. As in, if I have announced the name of the awardee and there is a time lag, there is a time window between announcement and reception of the award. In that period, if the person dies, then yes, it can be given. But if a person has died before the nomination, they cannot be awarded the Peace Prize. So back then, posthumous Nobel Peace Prize could be given, but due to some reasons, I will tell you that as well, he wasn't given it even posthumously. So he did not fall into the categories of politician or advocate for international law. This is one of the reasons. So they could not categorize, the committee couldn't categorize Gandhi. He was not primarily involved in humanitarian relief efforts, although he did so many things. He brought into existence Swadeshi movement. He brought into existence the ashrams. So there were so many things that was done. Even the Nobel Committee also regrets it. They even have a page for Mahatma Gandhi ji. The organization of international peace gatherings, he belonged to none. Also, there was this particular uniqueness of Satyagraha and the entire independence movement. It was so unique that the Nobel Committee did not have proper categories or criteria to assess it. So it wasn't, possible for them to understand on what grounds should we award this particular award to Mahatma Gandhi. Now, there were also reservations regarding Mahatma Gandhi's pacifist stance in the entire partition. Also, there were many members who were saying that he was standing just for one particular party, that means for India. And some also alleged that he had called the entire people of India to wage war against Pakistan, which is of course very controversial in nature. So these have been the many factors why he wasn't awarded the Nobel Peace Prize when he was alive. When I talk about the posthumous prize that could be awarded, there were no established guidelines. Why? Even if they gave him award posthumously, he did not belong to any organization, Mahatma Gandhi. So, where would the money go? Even in his will, there was no particular person who was mentioned to whom his legacy would go to. So, these are the many reasons why Mahatma Gandhi did not win the Peace Prize and why you saw the trajectory of Nehru losing the Peace Prize. But when the 14th Dalai Lama got this Peace Prize, it was made sure by the Nobel Committee that they tell it to the world that this is kind of a legacy. This is kind of a tribute, not the legacy. This is kind of a tribute to Mahatma Gandhi ji, that they are giving it to the 14th Dalai Lama, because in the similar category they fell. Now, if we talk about the page that I was telling you about, Nobel has a page, Mahatma Gandhi, the missing laureate. They have regretted it. Why they did never, acknowledge the fact that he deserved it. Okay, so I hope you found this topic interesting. I hope you can write a good essay with it. Thank you so much for watching.